I can see that. That's absolutely fantastic. Okay. T1 on the blue side. KT, first pick in game 3. Feel like first pick. The value goes down as the series goes on. This is going to be a very even one. It's what it feels like to me. Cassiopeia is still going to be banned away. And I believe the Orianna tax will need to be paid, but it has been saved until later in these bans.
More tame because a lot of the typical picks you see banned in the first rotation have kind of filtered through, you know, like the Nocturne, the Vi, just means there's a bit more freedom just to kind of close everything out. Yorick is going to come through, so KT want to first pick Jace here is the message that I'm getting.
I don't like the message, personally. I just feel like first pick Jace has not found a lot of success, even if the Yorick is banned away, even if the Olaf isn't there. Just hasn't felt like it's that clincher, the ace in the hole, unless it's piloted by Zeus, but there's no one in this game called Zeus.
I think
can
T1 eyeing up the prospects. Okay, if we ban Jace, what else will they get? They are going to ban the Jace.
All right.
Some of the picks that were banned last time, Karma, Hoppy, options potentially available.
Yep.
They are just going to go for that first pick Karma. Ezreal gone, but Caitlyn still available. Jhin still available as some of the more common pairings with this. Sivir still an option as well.
Yeah, so definitely going to be able to do that. No Jarvan means that Sivir does feel a little bit better here as well. And I feel like in game 3's Hyper Carry, not Hyper Gary. Who's Hyper Gary?
Oh, I love Hyper Gary.
Yeah,
great guy.
It's a really quick snail right there. Hyper Carries have been sort of the aim of the game. I feel like these more front to back style compositions have been working out, as that is Peyz's Caitlyn. That's terrifying on its own.
They deny the Caitlyn. Is it just going to be Kate Lux coming through?
Why not?
Some of the other pairings that we see, Karma's obviously on this side, Bard's gone. So it looks like Keria will bring out his Lux again.
That means this is almost definitely going to be a Jhin, which makes me all sorts of upset.
I will say some of the picks that give Jhin a problem, you know, Olaf, Cassante, not available right now, will help a little bit.
True.
And do we just get KT going for Xin Zhao here? You know, Xin Zhao Karma, pretty popular.
I like that one.
Could see that brought out. There's also Pantheon, though. There's also Lee Sin. But I think securing a jungler before we go to the second rotation of bans, pretty important.
You could also... Okay, Pantheon's still up. Pantheon's a good idea. I was actually thinking that Trundle could be a good idea, because dissuading them from playing a tank sounds like a good idea when you have a Jhin. Could have been an option, in theory. And I think regardless, the Jhin is going to have a bit of a rough time, as Cuzz is definitely thinking about this. And they're trying to make sure that this is the right call, so that Pantheon will be locked in.
So you could match jungle here for Oner. Definitely an option. You know, he's great on picks like Xin Zhao, Lee Sin. Or you could go for something... You could grab, like, the Ambessa before we get to the next rotation of bans. And then start to ban away some of the picks that it might struggle against. Looks like they won't go that avenue. They're just going to go for the Skarner. Seen sometimes if you have like a squishier support like Lux, having like a really bulky jungler can go a long way.
Yeah.
As obviously you're going to be the one that's face checking.
And also it's a Jhin. So you're not as worried, right? And you will definitely out DPS him if you do go for the Heartsteel build. We've seen a lot of the thrift shop build with the Bandle Pipes and the belt. But we'll see where Oner wants to go with that one. The Akali going to be taken away from BDD.
And it gives some safety to this bot lane. We've seen the Caitlyn Lux struggle for some other teams when targeted heavily by picks like Jarvan.
Yeah.
So making sure that protected and able to function is important. Galio going to be banned away by KT. Seeing that be pretty popular with the Imperial Mandate build. There's still Lock available, I guess, but we're kind of going down the totem pole a good amount when it comes to mid lane. As Annie is a decent option. Aurora.
Silas, also a thing.
Yeah, the Lock does get banned away there by T1. So banning away some of these melee mids, that can be a big threat.
Yeah, BDD, you can see, very vocal about what they want to be taking away right now. Got to make a decision about what you want to aim for. But also, T1 might just show their mid lane immediately after this, and then you need to pivot. There are so many things that are being taken away. The Varus is going to be removed. Not wanting to allow that to go over towards Doran.
Don't want to deal with any more flex shenanigans, but I think it's probably just Caitlyn bot and Varus.
I would assume so. The coveted mid lane Skarner hasn't been seen yet, but Faker did just play Rumble, so who knows what's going to happen.
So if they really want to grab like the Ambessa, do they just grab it now, or do they want to save the counter pick? Looks like they'll save the counter pick. A lot of control afforded this composition with the Anivia.
All right. This is a brick wall of a composition.
Good synergy with Skarner, because you can obviously smash them into your wall.
Yep.
So quite powerful there.
And once they do get slammed into the wall, then you put traps down, and then you can bind them, and it's just kind of crazy. Ice theme in the mid lane, but where is the damage if this is going to be the lock-in here for BDD? A little bit worried about this one. Blind Renekton to come through, knowing that Doran wants to play Ambessa.
Yeah, kind of saying, I don't want to allow you to play that.
And maybe then you blind Silas and say you have to play Nah, because it's the last thing. Oh, the Zoe instead. A BDD special here. But this would be almost 0 teamfight damage if they do that. Viktor is a very different story. Allows them to potentially go toe-to-toe in the 5v5.
I think some comps from KT, some champions, that we've seen not have so much success recently. The Jhin and Viktor have been struggling to pick up wins a little bit.
Haven't seen the Renekton almost at all over the last, month and a half.
It's been really absent. And now top lane, 41. Do you just slam like the Gnaw here? There's a Hen, I think, could be okay as well.
Gwen!
Go for the Gwen.
Okay.
And I believe, did the changes come in already? Didn't Gwen get some changes recently? Was that this patch? I think it was.
You'll have to refresh my memory.
So
but yes, no, it was.
It was this patch. So the healing against champions has been increased on the passive quite significantly.
All right.
And it's basically put you in a position where with a lot more sustain early and also late, Perfect really needs to shut down this Gwen early because Doran could just run rampant. And, we're talking about this KT composition having the Jhin. You have your 4th shot primed and ready, and suddenly Gwen is immune. It's not going to feel too good.
No, to be honest, it just doesn't feel good playing Jhin at all. Actually, that's not true. He's a very satisfying champion to play. Unfortunately, hasn't found a whole lot of consistent damage, and the ability to take down a Gwen is going to be a really tough one, especially because, you set up the curtains, and you're like, haha, I have you now, and she says Gwen is immune. And that is all a little bit of a shame. I think that might be when their train was coming, and they needed to go back home somewhere. But they're probably not going to be able to get to it because this is a very late night. I think Aux and I need to apologize if, our brains run away in a certain play. Like maybe we forget which champions are on the Rift. That is just a casualty of a 6-game day. The excitement's going to be there. Don't worry. Let's get into the Rift. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are, the deciding game between T1 and KT. And if KT want a spot in the playoffs, they have to win this one here. And if they do, there is a chance that we get an extra game between KT and D+ Kia. That would be absolutely
That's what we're all hoping for, maximum LCK.
Exactly.
For this 6-gamer to effectively bleed out into another day.
It's beautiful. Does that make it technically a 7-gamer? I'd say it almost is. But we digress.
Yes.
Jiwoo and Peyz just firing shots at one another. That is a great max range Q to connect there by Effort and powered by the Mantra. Help them out here in this lane. But if I was a KT fan, I would be very frightened about what this Lux is going to be doing to this team as this game goes on. Keria does some pretty ridiculous things with the light binding. And Peyz has always just been an absolute monster on Caitlyn. He's been an absolute monster on Champion in League of Legends. Any of them. Light binding goes wide this time around, as Effort does not juke to the right. But they are putting on all of the pressure here in this lane.
And honestly, I feel like a bit of damage in return.
Not bad.
Both Karma and Lux are very reliable poke because it's very hard to dodge the Loosen Singularity from the Lux, and the Inner Flame for the Karma is also absolutely massive.
Yep.
But it means that if you are able to dodge one, it gives you a lot of pressure in the lane and a lot of HP in return.
Right now, KT with a little bit of respite as the wave does get pushed forward. Inspire is going to be helping as well with that shielding on demand.
Inspired, he's here.
I don't know, actually. Haven't seen him, but I did say his name, so maybe he's been summoned. Doran and Perfect. Doran actually winning out on these early trades quite nicely. As Perfect goes in, we'll have a big Q to get that health bar back up again.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how the Gwen does, because I've been hearing good things about it. Yeah, we were talking about Jhin struggling. Okay, don't get too happy, Max.
Well, Perfect is going to find Doran, slices and dices. The Ignite is now down, and Cuzz, he's moving up. This might be a flash. As in he goes, finds the stun. He just comes down. There is that flash, but he flashes to follow, and first blood to the Pantheon.
Good pickup, and no TP from Doran means he's definitely going to miss a good amount here.
Oner is just going to throw some things at BDD, and there is the flash. Great crystallize there from Faker to make sure that he has to use that summoner to get away.
Now I'm going to see a little contest over the scuttle, but I think Perfect needs to recall. Oh, he's TPing back, though. Actually, this is BDD first and foremost.
Yeah, he is going to make his way in. Let's see whether Cuzz can actually get another stun.
Sorry, this is Renekton coming to the river, BDD's coming mid.
All right.
But either way, saves Cuzz, allows him to pick up that scuttle crab. Yeah, the point I was making about top lane is I've heard good...
Oh, light binding goes wide.
I don't actually miss that, but I've heard good things about the Gwen changes, because obviously we know Gwen's late game is pretty insane, but getting there is one of the bigger issues. But I was interested to see how it pans out, and now Viktor with a flank here. Look how low effort is already.
And Jiwoo has no idea. He is running away now with the Inspire shield coming in, but now flap, flap, in comes the bird, and the wall is going to catch effort, and down goes the Karma. Faker grabs the kill.
Such a great wall there to force the flash and then have the follow-up. Faker getting the impact done down in the bot lane. It's not very common that you see an Anivia roam. The TP definitely helping there.
Yeah. Was not the play that I was expecting. Really nicely done here from Faker. We're going to check this one out from Cuzz's perspective.
It's just crazy how much damage the Q does. But also how low the cooldown the tap Q is.
It's kind of absurd. And Faker, this is actually just perfect.
That wall placement is, you actually couldn't do better.
Nope. Absolutely perfect. And eliminates his former teammate in effort. And Oner is looking for another one. The return gank onto the flashless Viktor could be very powerful. He's playing pretty defensively right now, though. You can see that the Skarner does move back into the river. But Oner has been so active so far this game.
Oh, kind of missed. He didn't want that one anyway.
No, don't need too many.
Now the pressure mounting on bot. And with the Skarner here, Effort should be the target.
Yeah, Effort is going to try and take the Scorpion for a walk, as now Jiwoo takes so much damage. My God, Oner can very happily tank this one up, as there is Doran trying to get himself out of here, as Perfect is going to get on top of him. I don't know whether he really wants to, but there is a Pantheon waiting in the wings.
You know, I'm surprised in the bot lane. Oh, no.
Oh, dear. Well, Doran is likely to die as he looks to get back towards the wave. Gwen is not immune. Wait, a bit more immune than we thought. Cuzz finds the Q. There it is.
Easy as that. I was surprised they went for Jiwoo in the bot lane, considering Effa had no flash, Jiwoo had flash and cleanse, but T1 just able to pull it off and make the dive work, and that's going to give you more of an advantage when you're taking out the enemy AD carry and he's missing out on farm. Jiwoo was a bit lower, to be fair, but just the execution really solid. Instantly gets a cleanse out. Keria follows the flash with the binding as well. Just beautifully done. And then here in the top lane, it's so difficult because at some point, if you just sit there in that brush and the minions keep dying, the game is just going to be over anyway. So Doran kind of feels forced to walk up. Like, what if Cuzz has reset? I'm just wasting my time, but unfortunately he hadn't. Ends up going down for the second time. I think we kind of saw that, you know, the Gwen can hold itself moderately well in the 1v1, but League of Legends is not a 1v1 game.
Yeah, the problem is it's a 1v2 at the moment, and hasn't been as good in the lane swap meta, as it turns out, or the no jungle meta, which is looking like what KT are trying to employ here in this game. 2-0 for the Pantheon, and hasn't actually fallen too far behind in farm as well. With all of this time he's invested towards the top side is perfect. These Culver Meeks are really going to start hurting. He's got a pickaxe and a phage. My goodness. Pretty scary crocodile right now. Yeah,
tough one right now for Doran. Does have the Ignite back up and available. Will help potentially if it's a 1v1, but I'm not even sure that's enough.
As the slice in, Doran tries to go immune, does get the needlework out. The flash gets
flash.
over the next one. Perfect needs that Ruthless Predator. Does he have a Q? He does! And just smashes down the Gwen. 0-3-0 for Doran. It's a reverse, it's a dying spree is what he's on now.
Beautifully played there by Perfect. Obviously helped a lot by those earlier ganks from Cuzz, but Doran tries to find the all-in angle. The flash is there to dodge away from the damage, and he just gets the column to make back up to finish him off.
Oh dear. Not looking great on the top side of the map. KT do have a 600 gold lead, but it is all the Renekton. And we've seen games where Renektons get massively fed, and then in the late game it means not exactly all that much.
I will say they buffed a lot of Renekton's items on this patch.
Not to mention also the Dominus is better than when that used to happen.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, here, kiting away when he's had both the ult and the Q, so the Ignite were committed by Doran. He kites away.
Oh.
Effort just dies.
Effort did
Also,
very much
Perfect
die.
found that all in without his ult being available.
Oh god. Yeah, I didn't even notice.
Yeah, so a bit concerning. And now, oh my god. You know, this is why I don't like playing top lane.
Well, Doran is, yeah, just going to have to leave this massive wave.
Oh, well, at least you can TP back. Oh.
Well, at least he's discoing, as we could see there. Faker is going to be able to come up, and at least he can pick up the wave. Cuzz is going to collect this last remaining grub. Perfect going to help him out. Crocodiles like being in the river.
Yeah, this was just a matter of getting binded and dead.
Yeah.
The Luxol killed him. There was follow-up. There was more damage available. Didn't need it.
Effort still with the courage to cross the river. Tried to get a ward down and did manage to at least get it behind the Dragon Pit.
Maybe the courage of the Colossus.
Yeah, something like that. Nice side.
But I was saying before, some of the items that got buffed on this patch for Perfect, like the Black Cleaver.
Oh dear. Being in the top lane is not where you want to be, but that wall was so good for Faker. Flashes out of the way, they still get what they were looking for. But that will definitely save Faker from a potential death there.
Faker's like, it's fine, I could go top lane. It's, you know, you just gotta play safe. And then 2 minutes later.
Yeah, and 2 minutes later he's like, no, I'm going back. Well, curtains are getting called here for Keria and Peyz. 1, 2, 3! And the fourth one is going to be saved here for Peyz as he is blocking for his support. But Keria did have to use both of his summoners.
Yep. Lined up well. And the shot that connected after Keria flashed was pretty slick from Jiwoo.
BDD kind of hoping that he was going to be able to get that death ray to hit a minion. Wasn't actually able to do so. Faker's walls have just been fantastic so far this game. And now able to just clear out waves with the ulti very comfortably.
Yeah, we have this matchup back on again.
I don't want to watch it anymore.
Does
Poor
not
Doran.
look close.
And I know Doran has been suffering some criticism recently. I don't think this one's really his fault. I mean, what are you supposed to do? There's been a Pantheon here all the time!
Actually, there is a good strategy for this one. I've seen it implemented many times in solo queue.
Follow your jungler around?
Yeah, you just flame your jungler and go next.
No, you just follow into all of his camps.
You walk bot lane and start taking farm there.
That sounds like a good idea. Well, Doran is going to use the needlework and back away. But Jiwoo's now here. Cuzz is also here. Doran will die again. I don't think Faker is going to be able to save him. And so the turret is just going to go down. That is first turret blood over to KT. Peyz will answer immediately. This is top versus bot lane. And it's every T1 game. It's just Peyz is gigantic. Can the rest of T1 play around him as the rest of their map kind of falls apart?
This is why I just feel so risky to go for something. Like, you've gone for Caitlyn looks. You want to play through the bot lane. You want to play through getting Peyz strong. And then you go for this Gwen into Renekton matchup, which is also a matchup that could benefit from attention. And I just feel like it was a risk that's been punished. Because ultimately, a Gwen who's this far behind is not going to nearly be as useful as like a Cassante.
Oh no.
And also just isn't nearly as good at surviving these plays as a Cassante, especially as you went Ignite instead of TP.
Yeah, really wanted to be able to fight in this lane. And the problem is, Perfect didn't even go for an exhaust or any like kill lane summoners or anything like that. He has the teleport. He can play side lanes later on, get into fights with a gigantic shield. This Renekton might actually be that frontline threat the KT are looking for. They do need to work on getting some advantages for BDD, I think. I think BDD is going to be very, very important in doing the consistent damage in the later game teamfights with his Arcane Storm. But that is a task for another day, as he does upgrade his shoes. Walking real swift with these Swifty boots.
I think it's probably a task for today, actually, because this is...
Oh, right, yes.
This is KT's...
Well, like, just maybe not...
This is actually KT's last match.
In this 5-minute mark.
So I would say it's probably best to do that today.
Right, yeah. Today
won't get another chance, like later this week or something.
Yeah. And for the tiebreaker to happen, I think they need to win today in this game, like right now.
Yeah, so...
That's a good point. Perfect has a 2-level advantage. And yeah, Doran is still struggling. This just in, 0-3-0 Gwen having tough time. Perfect is playing very respectfully though. Actually just going to be backing all the way away as that wave is a little bit too far. So with that turret down, it is a little bit more difficult for the Renekton to play this one out.
Dragon is up and available, and it looks like T1's setting up for it. Having Perfect there would be so valuable here. Doran can't stop his TP, and notably, Doran hasn't finished his top lane quest yet, so he doesn't have a TP of his own.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's going to make things tough to follow.
So if you're thinking, who would you rather have there at the fight, this fed Renekton or this underfed Gwen?
Oh, Peyz is moving in. Needlework is down. Perfect is actually bitten off more than he can chew. Slices, dices, flashes, and dies. Doran is back on the board.
That was basically a solo kill, by the way. I know obviously Peyz got there to help out and had the ult if needed, but Doran did most of that by himself, which is confusing, a little worrying.
Yeah, definitely an odd play. As Perfect goes back, and now it is a Cloud Soul. Thank you, T1. T1 always very good at delivering Cloud Souls. And let's have a look at this play one more time.
I think the thing is, Doran cut it towards the turret, so it's very hard to pressure deeper into him. And taking the full charge of the ultimates does so much work.
Yeah.
Flash also didn't really get much value there. And Peyz is there just to pick up his assist, but like, yeah, I helped.
And that is, they've cut this gold lead for the Renekton, like, down by so much. He was close to 2,000.
I mean, he had a Black Cleaver versus Haunting Guys, and now there's the full Rift Maker for Doran. And, you know, this is going to shock you. This is going to blow your mind.
Please,
Max.
inform me.
Gwen actually does scale better than Renekton, despite the fact
he
is a crocodile with scales.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, he's got so many scales.
Well, I think the thing is, with scaling, he comes with all his scales at the start of the game. He doesn't develop any new scales.
Right. Well,
he comes pre-scaled.
I'm really glad that you're here to give us all of that information. As BDD running around the backside of this fight as they are looking to try and stop this from going down, but it is Oner that locks it up. Now the ulti comes in, but the Impale is right there on top of Cuzz. He will have the Aegis though. Now the curtains are being called. Down goes the Gwen one more time as Keria and Peyz will be able to run their way out. And I think Doran for Rift Herald is probably a decent maneuver here. Although the eye
is the problem and it fades away.
So it's
just a bit aggressive here.
It's just Doran goes down for nothing, and the flash from Faker is going to have to be employed here as well.
Not exactly the outcome T1 was hoping for there.
This game is very, very close.
Oh.
All right. The Scuttle was cold by the final spark. And Perfect is going to look to get on top of Keria here. Finds a ward, gets distracted by ward, and now is going to go back home.
So, not as much playing out in that fight as I expected. Oh, the ult to stop the recall.
I'm glad that we don't watch that, because it's very frustrating.
Yeah, we saw Keria get this binding onto Cuzz, and I thought Cuzz was about to go for the ult. But it still goes off anyway. Joins the fight and just kind of gets grabbed immediately by the Skarner, but just not easy to take down the Pantheon.
Yeah.
And T1 just kind of have to back away.
And effort was there to save him as well. The Mikhails was already built up, so he was able to just walk over and make sure that the Pantheon was able to get himself out of there. Effort looking to snare Keria here momentarily. As Peyz, losing Singularity and the traps, making it very difficult for KT to traverse and try and defend this turret as Peyz takes a little bit of poke, but still will be able to siege down this turret very comfortably. And with the walls and all of the frustration, Oner being in, like big in the front line, this composition still really works, even with Doran in a very precarious position.
It's just very hard to push through against the Anivia and the front line of this Skarner. But I think it's also true on the other side that when you have this fed Renekton and the Pantheon, you can buy so much time. Hard to just progress into the enemy team.
Oh, yeah. Well, Perfect does have a Tiamat now done. Probably going for a Stride Breaker next. I wouldn't mind it if Perfect just built an Executioner's Calling. Because I do think that Doran is healing up a lot in these engages, and he has the Ignite, so he doesn't need to worry about that.
Yeah, I imagine Jiwoo will probably get a Mortal Reminder eventually, but that's going to be quite late.
Yeah, and he's not always with Perfect.
Especially if he goes the Rapid Fire Storm Razor build.
Oh god, all of the items, and then finally we'll get an Infinity Edge at some point.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Oftentimes you don't make it. Oh, I need armor penetration. Never mind. My 6th item can be IE. It'll be okay.
Whereas the Caitlyn build has been Storm Razor and then IE straight away. No hesitation.
Well, Final Spark is a ability coming from a support Lux.
Yeah, it doesn't really do that much damage with this build. You know, you're used to the support Luxes in the solo queue games who are building full AP.
Yeah, exactly. Where are the Ludens procs?
Yeah, the Zazak.
Yeah.
Oh, I am not quite hitting as hard. Right now, Dragon up in 40 seconds. It is a Cloud Soul. A lot of value from that in this game. And like if T1 get control of the area, it's so hard to push in.
I feel like it's very important for KT to be able to fight for these Drakes. I think Cloud Soul would be super duper valuable into an Anivia, especially.
Yep. Oh no.
BDD gonna have to flash once again. Oner just ends up inside the wall in a very confusing way, but it's just gonna be ushered away here by the Death Rays.
Flash
Till they get the flash, exactly.
It's pretty big. And again, if you're trying to push in against the Anivia wall and a line of traps, not gonna happen.
Nope. And KT, I think they might be realizing that this dragon is not for them. BDD, though, is not going to get snared by the light binding, and they at least get this control ward down. It looks like KT are going to cut their losses and look to try and push down this mid lane. Top lane is also being occupied here by Perfect, as Crystalline Overgrowth is just taken here by BDD. So KT do move the needle as far as the gold is concerned, a little bit further in their direction. But that dragon stacking has begun here for T1, and I have a feeling that this game is one that T1 are very happy to let go as late as you would like. Give Doran the ability to try and farm himself into relevance.
I mean, we've seen how many games where Caitlyn has just completely taken over after a certain point, but the fact you also have the backup of the Gwen and Anivia no slouch in the later stages either just means KT, really the mid-game is where you expect them to be taking the game by the horns, but the current state of things, it feels difficult to push the pace forward.
Certainly does. There's that Infinity Edge for Peyz.
At least it's Terry this time, not Huni Baron again.
Maybe some opportunities for some Baron scuffles.
A bit more hope, at least. Not doing quite as much damage.
Yeah. Cuzz has his Black Cleaver now put together. Perfect getting closer and closer to item number 2, but not quite there just yet. As BDD, he's got a Hextech cookie. Looks like he is building towards the Dash Cannon. Same build as last time on the Syndra. This time he is a Viktor. And okay, Jiwoo, Rapid Fire Cannon will be coming in. Yay. Then we'll see what he's going to be building. I assume it will be Mortal Reminder coming in 3rd. BDD lying in wait, seeing whether he can attack Faker here, but trying to work out. There's that Rapid Fire Cannon we were talking about. But the Jhin, I don't think, is going to be challenging Peyz. You know, like sometimes you've got an Ezreal or a Corki up against the Caitlyn, and you're like, aha, now is my time. Jiwoo isn't looking at Rapid Fire Cannon and Ghostblade and being like, haha, now is my time. I don't think that that's how that one works. You do get a little bit of extra poke with the Rapid Fire Cannon there, and the Ghostblade moves you around a bit faster, but the damage potential isn't quite as high.
Yeah, not cutting through targets as easily.
Oh, at least Effort did manage to get the Inspire off.
Oh, BDD still doesn't have Flash, by the way.
He does have the Chovy Cannon. They do respect it. He backs fully away, though, so that is a large wave. Crashing that in and turret. Faker getting a bit of extra damage down there. And it is only an 80 gold lead for BDD, and he is close to 30 CS ahead.
See kind of a mirrored play in this situation where Oner was heavily leaning towards bot side, trying to put pressure on BDD. Top side of the map, Cuzz was leaning heavily, putting pressure on Doran. Nothing really will come from it, though. Created camps as well. And even though KT had control of the Baron area, they back off. Keria gets some deeper wards in. You see some question mark things coming through.
Yeah.
Keria's been spotted walking back, so they expect there to be wards deeper in the jungle.
Man, this is so extremely close. As Jiwoo presses that Ghost Blade button, Cuzz shows up, thought that he might have caught Keria there, but he's got Shirelias. Able to get himself out of the way.
It does heal as well for the movement speed, but flash being maintained is the important thing. But it does give a lot of space over to KT to clear out this vision and establish their own, but they actually haven't picked up those 2 wards in their jungle. Not yet. There was one that was pinged pretty heavily. I think that was actually T1 who was pinging it, so KT not spotting it.
Jiwoo just clearing out waves over and over. Deadly Flourish is getting better and better at that as this game goes on. As KT, spotted by a Lucent Singularity, is, my goodness, the fully charged Q is kind of nuts.
Minute 30 until Dragon, and KT really want to stop this, but again, need to get in here and get access to the Dragon area beforehand. T1 just completely cutting them out, and Perfect's behind now.
All right, there is the Crocodile. Lying in wait in the reeds, gets the slice off. Faker might be put down to the egg. Not quite though, is he? Oh, never mind, the Dominus takes him down. But Perfect finds a last Q. Got a lot of work done, but that is a kill going over to Peyz, and not a lot in return.
The follow-up just not there. Cuzz didn't have ult to try and join Perfect, and Perfect takes down Faker, but only into the egg. He respawns, comes back, and the team is there to handle him. And the big thing here is Cuzz was zoned off by the Singularity from the Lux, was slowing him down. Then there's the Glacial Storm in the way as well. Really struggling to make their way in here, and Doran just pops his Shroud, backs away. Now at that time, Perfect has already died.
Yeah, not a whole lot they could do about it. So now 20 seconds until this Drake is up and available. Teleport is there for Perfect. Still has the flash as well. Didn't actually invest that in the last fight. And man, look at this. The heart monitor that is the gold graph. As Peyz, he's pretty scary. Got a lot of items now as he's building towards his last Whisper item is number 3. Does want the attack speed. That's going to have to come a little bit later. Faker is in this top lane.
Yeah, Cuzz has control off this area.
Oh, Keria. Yeah, Gravity Field goes down. Keria is able to walk out of it for now as Peyz is also tagged by this Death Ray. And now Oner is going to get snared as well. The bullets are connecting, and there is the chain CC onto the Skarner. He is just so durable. It does buy Cuzz enough time to take down this Dragon, though, so 2 Drakes apiece. And T1 looking a little bit worse for wear as the siege is begun.
A lot of pressure, but ultimately T1 don't opt into contesting the drag. Oh, Faker could be in trouble.
There's the flash forward from Effort, looking to try and lock him down. The wall is fantastic, but Cuzz, he just launches himself over it, and no blast cone is going to get Faker out of this one. The little jab with the Q from Cuzz will be able to take out the bird.
What will it lead to, though? Will that allow them to set up the Baron? It doesn't look like it. They'll just take the kill. Tower in the bot lane picked up by Perfect. And all in all, it's still so even in this game. 2 dragons apiece now, only 300 gold between them. It's mostly where the gold is. It's KT with the Fed Renekton, and it's T1 with the Fed Caitlyn. And I think there's an easy answer. Which you'd rather have?
Yeah, I mean, I think it even goes beyond that. I think if Peyz is in a late game scenario, just feel like, especially if he's on a champion that is equipped to just get better and better as you get there, I think the smart money is always on him.
Doran actually just hit level 16 before Perfect, by the way.
That's crazy. Catch-up experience has gone too far.
So Faker ends up overstepping here. They see him walk past that wall that's a little bit lower. Lot committed to try and catch him out. He does eventually die.
All right.
Not the most impactful death, though.
Nope. They weren't able to actually turn onto a Baron or anything like that. As Perfect has done the most damage in the game. How impactful is that going to be as this game continues? The gold lead has moved to 2,000, so it is increasing. But Perfect now has Black Cleaver and Stridebreaker done, and is now looking for item number 3, likely a GA or something of that ilk. And I do just feel like there's a bit of a timer here on KT.
Yep.
And yeah, they're doing a good job keeping the game even. The problem is, they keep doing that, then it'll be even. And T1 will be very happy.
You see Jiwoo going towards his last Whisper item, 3rd, not going for the Storm Razor, which I think is the right call, but still behind in power compared to Peyz.
Perfect. Gonna throw down the Dominus here as Doran looking for the needlework, and there is a Skarner making his way over. Ace in the hole comes in, final spark. That's Keria trying to get an assist as well. He does at least get a call the meek and does put in the flash.
Oh, the ignite!
Oh no, perfect! The last tick will do it. And down goes the Crocodile. The fadeaway ignite for the kill. Doesn't feel great as BDD will take down an inner turret for their trouble.
So tower goes down top lane. The fact they also got Perfect's flash pretty big. I think hard to team fight Renekton without that. Pays so much damage to this tower.
Yeah. And there are no minions, but the headshot just doesn't seem to care about a backdoor bonus or not. And so KT now lose their gold advantage. And Doran, even though he was utterly bullied in the early game, he is now on 2 items. Nash's Tooth, a fantastic one, alongside the Riftmaker on the Gwen, always has been. And I have a feeling that he has weathered the storm long enough.
I think he has. Getting to the point where he's just an absolute menace. If he buys a Seeker's Arm Guard, I think that's just it. I think that's the point where he's just so difficult to deal with. It's a minute 30 on that next dragon, and I think T1 can feel a lot more confident about looking towards fighting that one than the last one.
I would agree. And I think the one after that is going to be even easier if things are going the way that they continue to go. Still, it's not like KT don't have any tools, and we saw the chain CC. When it does actually come in, it can be pretty devastating. That's all right. BDD and Cuzz now looking for some angles. Wanting to see who is going to head into the jungle first. It is just going to be a blue buff that they are looking to secure. And Jiwoo actually walking towards his control ward is a little bit scary. Light Binding connects onto Effort. Not going to take too much damage from that one, as now Perfect. We're going to make his way over as well. 50 seconds on this Drake. And oh no, Effort has to go home. He might have to just flash, and he does do so. Still slowed down, but now no flash, no heal for the Karma. That is such a big deal. Looking at this next crucial fight.
And the ult just
even the final spark. Yeah, Ace in the hole. Is he going to die? That is so incredibly close.
I don't know what health he was.
He was under 10, single digit.
Yeah, crazy amount of luck there for Effort to survive. But it does mean they've taken the support off the map. Vision control not able to be laid down. 17 seconds on that dragon. And there's no red anywhere near it.
Nope. So KT gonna have to either just group up and see what they can do, walking blind into these bushes, or give away this soul point over to T1. They do get vision, and they are looking to follow their minions towards this bottom side. But the Glacial Storm comes in.
Once they're set up.
Oh, there's a Blast Cone here. Let's see. They do Blast Cone over. There is Cuzz making his way forward. The curtains are being called. The first 2 bullets miss. The last ones are just kind of collected from people that don't really care.
Binding.
And the final spark, the binding so incredibly good. The wall even better from Faker as T1 look to put them in the grave. And now Doran is getting his revenge. BDD lit on fire. He's going to have to walk away as Jiwoo. I mean, he's a Jhin. There's not a whole lot he can do without a front line to play around. And T1, I think they've really tipped the scales now.
Then they can head straight over to that Baron. They have the DPS for it in spades, and that might be the moment that sends KT to the play-ins. We'll see the replay here. KT very late on contesting, and if T1 already set up, it's so hard to get access. They have to use the Pantheon ult. But Peyz is unthreatened. Just starts kiting, dodging the Jhin shots, getting damage down. The double binding from Keria was beautiful after the flash, but the wall that came after, locking Cuzz and Effort in, ensuring their deaths. Faker goes down to his egg, but he doesn't care.
Oh, and it was a flash double binding as well. And Faker knows exactly what to do off the back of that play. Absolutely beautifully done. The Baron was taken. And Peyz now hits 4 items and a bit. And this is the time where the Caitlyn will be unanswerable. There's just not a whole lot the KT can actually do about it.
I mean, Bloodthirst is where it becomes insane, but even just the Vam Scepter is a good amount of lifesteal. It means that you land a bit of poke, it just doesn't mean nearly as much. A headshot heals so much.
Yeah.
I mean, with the Bloodthirster, it's insane. With the Vam Scepter, it's still pretty crazy. And if you get a headshot...
Oh, possibly an angle here as the Arcane Storm goes down. There is Cuzz making his way forward as well. Oner there for the the disengage. They do get the barrier. Peyz still has flash, for goodness sake.
A little tense. Little tense. It was a good angle from KT to try and punish. And Peyz sheepishly heads towards the top lane, but will just heal up incredibly quickly.
Skybreaker doesn't actually catch onto Doran there, and KT, you can see they're desperate to find any sort of pick to delay this Baron where they can. Light Binding will connect onto the Jhin. As Jiwoo was just trapped inside the wall. That was ridiculous! And they're just going to leave him there? Are you kidding me?
That is such a tilter.
Yeah, Faker was like, that's BM, guys. Let's just leave him there in the pen. He can stay there. As the inner turret is going to be taken down. And the war of attrition is just being won here by a T1.
Jiwoo may... Oh, no.
Oh, another wall. The stun is going to come through. Mikhail's was there. Or actually, it was the cleanse. That got him to safety. But it's not going to save this turret. As at least the Arcane Storm is on Keria. Might do a little bit of work here, but he's able to wander his way out.
Yeah, Jiwoo may have made it out of the wall situation, but he's trapped in his base. Actually, TP coming in.
Yeah, perfect. He's going to look for an angle towards Doran. He is a big crocodile. But there is the stasis. And the slowdown onto Doran. They do get on top of him. But down to the GA goes the crocodile. Oner is now in possibly a bit of trouble, but Perfect is in more. He's going to get taken out. There's the Impale onto the Viktor. And all of the damage is dead on the side of KT. It's a triple kill for Peyz. And actually, there is a Penta on the map if he can actually catch these last two. But it looks like Cuzz will deny it. And T1 will be sending KT to the play-ins with a victory here. These two Nexus turrets looking to go down. It was a valiant effort, especially in Game 1. KT looked fantastic. The Game 2 was a creative draft. In Game 3, T1 just outlasted them. Keria does die here in this moment, but that is going to... Is that the unofficial Penta? That is the unofficial Penta to come through for Peyz. And maybe just give it to him. He's already got the most in the world. May as well give him another one. And T1 will be the victors here today.
KT suffering on the back of this defeat, will be going down to play-ins. Won't make their way straight to playoffs.